For more on today's hearing, we're joined now by Denver Riggleman, a former Republican congressman from Virginia who served as a senior technical advisor to the committee until April. He's also the author of the book, The Breach, The Untold Story of the Investigation into January 6th. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with, as the committee completes its work, give us your assessment on how effective these hearings have been in making the case against the former president. Have they done enough to really connect the dots on why he should face criminal charges?
You know, and thanks for having me again, Lindsey. I think they've connected the dots, certainly on Trump's state of mind, the legal insanity he had surrounding him, his incitement and intimidation through digital media, and really the fact that his actions were really, I would say, more than partly responsible for what happened on January 6th. You know, for me, I look at it in a little bit of a different lens, Lindsey. As you know, we've talked before, I look at it from a counterterrorism lens, apolitically, and as a Republican or a Democrat, or what else is going to happen? What can we do next? I do think, as we've seen with the committee, as effective they've been at what Trump did and the people around him, I think we need to look to the future and what happens on the next January 6th. You know, how do we stop that? So although this report is going to be sort of managed by the gold team, which was looking at Trump and his associates, I think the other teams, the red, blue, purple, and green, the teams looking at other facets of this might be more important for the future when you look at the data that they have. So we look at follow the money, when you look at online radicalization, when you look at foreign, interference in our elections and amplification of digital madness, you're right, in those type of things. And you look at the day of the command and control with Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, and other right-wing extremist groups. I think it's that data that's really going to show us the way and how to prevent this in the future.
You did raise some concerns in your book about leads that may not have been followed or work that still needed to be done. Is there anywhere where you feel that the committee has fallen short?
You know, it's tough because they have such a hard job of prioritizing the tasks based on their limited authorities. And that's what I've been trying to explain to people, is that data is the superhero that we can rely on in a lot of these. But the committee can't do some things. And some of that really comes down to how robust the link maps were, but also the other end of those calls from the White House. I mean, for me, it's very important what happened with Trump, don't get me wrong, but I really want to know why an Oath Keeper had a direct line to the White House and Kelly Sorrell texting directly with Andrew Giuliani, or why the White House switchboard, or the switchboard number, was connected, to an individual who was on the ground during the time, a rioter, or why there's rally planners that were directly connected to the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys that had access to White House phone numbers also, and were calling back and forth in and out of there. So for me, Lindsey, I would love to be even a bigger part of this in the future. I'd love to be behind the door in the DOJ, but we have so much data on call records and texts and things like that that I really believe another year of parsing through that data maybe would give us a better look at what could happen in the future and how they conducted their operations.
As I've said already, you're a former Republican congressman. The committee today referred multiple Republicans to the House Ethics Committee over failure to comply with lawful subpoenas. But with Republicans taking over the House, is there any chance for accountability there?
No.
Yeah.
No, I know Lindsey's not the answer, but no, the only accountability is for the voters, to see that a lot of these individuals live their life, whether they believe it or not, to get elected based on fantasy, based on this sort of surreal look at how the world doesn't work. But you see that everywhere. And, when you look at the re-election this year, and I know people think that somehow we've dodged a bullet, and I get it, but when you look at the 139 who voted, to object to the electors, most of them won re-election. So I guess I don't think we're out of the woods. And I think that's one of the things that concerns me the most, is that we need to continue looking forward. And the only way to do that is by studying how they did it beforehand, because, as you know, Lindsey, in the intelligence world, past performance is usually indicative of future performance. And I think that study will allow us to really try to predict what this would look like the next time it happens.
Former GOP congressman and former committee advisor Denver Riggleman, we thank you so much for your time tonight. Appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Lindsey.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.